Hello, everyone, and happy Saturday. Welcome to Boss Ladies. Oh my God, we've got Ali Glibs, haha, Alison Gibson and Annette Bacon. How are you all doing today?
Fantastic, great, just rocking. It's been a fantastic week. Glad to be here, Ed.
Oh, and Dangerous Ali, how are you?
Me too. I'm doing really well.
I just want to say thank you to everyone for joining us. Chances are you're watching a live stream on Facebook, LinkedIn, or you're watching on the recording wherever you are. A big welcome. Now, what we do is we catch up on a monthly basis with powerful boss ladies to talk about empowerment from a women's viewpoint. You might be wondering, has anyone noticed that I'm a dude? Do I look like a man or a woman? I look like a man, right? I hope I look like a man.
No, definitely.
Unless I'm transitioning, which I'm not. But and the reason why I'm here is I'm here to give a male viewpoint, which might be right or wrong, but it's not about right or wrong. It's about helping ladies win. So today's topic is leadership and confidence. I was just telling Ali before I cheated today. Do you want to hear how I cheated? Should I tell the story of how I cheated, Ali?
Yeah, tell it.
I used Elon Musk's grok to identify 5 areas we should look at today. And would everyone love to hear the 5 areas according to Elon Musk?
What are the 5 areas? Bring it on. Come on.
Confidence and leadership loop, overcoming imposter syndrome for women, authentic vulnerability and leadership, decision-making confidence under pressure, and empowering others to build confidence. What do you ladies think of that? Is that on the mark or totally wrong? What do you think?
On the mark.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I just before we have to say this as well. Annette, have you been working out? You're looking really like slim and fit. Have you been hitting the gym or something?
I have, Ed. Nice for noticing. Thank you. I'm actually doing strength training at home, and that's part of my health routine and my rehab as well for my knee surgery. But yes, I am. I'm going to be writing my next chapter in my next book, adventure coming up. Is actually going to be about my health journey, because it's been a 20-year journey to get where I am today. But yes, I have had a significant change in my weight and my body shape and my health and who I am and how I be now in this place.
Well, looking fit, Annette Bacon, love it. And just in the studio, we've got amazing Christina Davey coming in. We ran a meetup yesterday and I called her the crazy Romanian, and everyone totally agreed with that assessment. And Christina, congrats on your meetup last night. It was packed, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Unbelievable. I'm still buzzing, obviously, from your event and mine. It has been so good. Like, so many people. I just love people. I love connecting. So I can't help it, and especially, look, I think as a coach, right, I worked a lot from the online space, right? I connect with people on social media. I have my sessions on Zoom. So being in person there, feeling people's energy, creating that atmosphere together, it's just like, I'm so at home. So yeah, bring it on anytime. So thank you, Edward, for your event. And thank you for supporting me building my community over the years.
Here we go. So welcome. Great to have you all with us. And what we've got is we're going to start, we're going to bounce over. We're going to start the panel now. We're going to start exploring our topic. And we're going to go through Ali, Christina, and Annette in that order. And then we're going to open to freestyle mode. So we're going to start with amazing Ali Gibbs on every level. So, my amazing friends. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with confidence and the leadership loop. Now, the confidence and leadership loop is basically the more wins you have is the more confident you become. The more confident you become, the more wins you have. That's the idea, right? But the question is, what if you're not having many wins and you're feeling down on your luck? This is where I want to start, and we're going to start with Ali Gibbs. Ali Gibbs, what are your thoughts on that one?
That's a really interesting topic, because it is really hard to motivate yourself when you're not having those wins initially. And a lot of people, especially on social media, they align their success only to likes or comments or how many impressions that they're getting. And one of the things that I've noticed, which I actually found really interesting, is I've had a number of clients contact who hadn't commented, had not liked, but they were watching in the background. I just didn't know that they were. So for me, that was a real realization, and I needed to continue to put my messages out, continue to show people what I was capable of. And I did that with videos and a number of other different things, slide decks. And when I started to actually show people what I was doing, that's when people that were watching in the background were then connecting, not necessarily commenting or liking, but they're connecting and they're DMing me now. So that's one thing that I noticed that was a real game changer for me.
So you're getting more wins and more successes. And I noticed that you've really taken off lately. And I suppose going a bit back in time, Ali, when you weren't feeling as good and you had to get out of things, how did you get over that? How did you sort of get out of the slump and start taking off now like you are?
I'm really good at kicking my own butt. I have a mindset that when something isn't going to plan for me, I have a reset. So I will sit down and I'll go, okay, I know I want to do this, but if it's not working and nobody else is looking at it, then maybe what I want isn't exactly what is going to get me anywhere. So one of the things that I did was I found some really cool posts or videos. They're actually nothing to do with my business per se to look at it, but I could put that messaging in the video back to what I was doing, and I could explain it in a way that is like, okay, for example, there was one I did about something that happened in the tennis. And I was like, okay, even when this guy has lost his quarterfinal, he's still able to have a joke. This is why successful people are successful. They don't stay in that rut. They pick themselves up, they dust themselves up, and they start with a different strategy, a different thought process. And I'm also quite lucky. I've got a family that's pretty good at kicking my butt too. So I've got a very good support network that doesn't tell me what I want to hear. They tell me what I need to hear.
Oh, there you go. We're going to call you Based Ali. Round of applause to Based Ali. There we go. So based. And just a quick one. We've got a few legendary ladies in the waiting room. Firstly, we've got our amazing friend Lara Arden. She's a massive business leader from Brisbane in Queensland. And big welcome, Lara. How are you doing today, Lara? I was about to say
awesome.
Tonight.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be with you. Great to see you again, ladies. How are you doing?
Oh, welcome back to Lara, which is amazing. And we've got Sabina with us as well. Sabina's coming in. Sabina's setting up her cam right now. So something tech issues that Sabina's working through, but we love your work, Sabina. We'll have her on shortly. So what we're doing is that we're talking about leadership and confidence. And the first idea we're looking at is a confidence leadership loop. Now we're going to bounce over to, and also to, just for everyone, if you can, keep your microphones on mute when you're not talking to reduce background noise, then just go unmute when you talk and mute again. Just keep down background noise. Next, we're going to hear from Annette Bacon, legendary Annette Bacon, on the confidence leadership loop. Annette, great to see you, my friend. What are your thoughts?
What a great conversation. And I'm with you, Ali. I think we need to be our own best champion as well. Yes, there are times when we need support, but even in that support, whatever guidance we're getting, ultimately at the end of the day, it's whether we take action and put that in place. And so being our own champion is a powerful thing. So I love that share. For me, I think one of the challenges that we have, particularly as women, is we're just used to being around a lot of masculine energy. We're used to being around a lot of do. And what I learned about confidence for me, especially from a self-confidence point of view, I really needed to kind of push back on that energy. That energy is great when I need to give myself a bit of a kick up the butt. But when I am starting off as well in that beginning stage, it's bringing that feminine energy. It's bringing self-compassion to myself. It's recognizing that challenges are going to come in life. That's, nobody has a perfect life. And if it was, it'd probably be boring anyway, because in those now I know there are times when we are in some really crazy times, and it's grief, and there's pain, and there's a lot. There can be a lot of emotion in that space, and that's okay. It's giving yourself time to process that and work through that. But there's also that point where, I guess having compassion. For me, I had to learn not to be so goal orientated, and just learn to be okay with who I am, and not constantly looking to people please or be perfect or worry about what everybody else is thinking about who I am. And again, Ali, you mentioned about social media. So many people get their sense of self-identity out in the world, in the external world. But confidence, for me, that inner confidence that self-confidence really starts when you start to go, who am I authentically in this space? And embracing and being that and stepping into that, because that's where that confidence starts to grow.
Well said, well said. And my reaction to you, Annette, is that, and we've had a few chats about this, and we're talking about your health as well. A bit like ourselves, our health wasn't too good a year ago. When your health wasn't working well as well, how did you sort of get on track and keep it all moving?
Wow, yeah, that was, that was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done, because I was actually working on a 20-year, I guess, of conditions and patterning of everything not being right, it wasn't just not eating healthy, because there are times I actually did all the research and knew the kind of foods to eat. I would have these mini successes along the way. I'd lose a bit of weight. I'd get a little bit healthier. I'd be a little more fitter. And then I'd just end up going backwards again. And it really just came back to a number of things. So firstly, I came to the point where I drew a line in the sand. I'd done that before, but this time, I don't know what it was, but it was like even more real. It was like, this was the line. No more. You need to make this happen, right? And nobody else is doing this for you. You can't blame anybody else. You're self-sabotaging your own health journey. This is about you. This was me giving my kick up the butt for myself.
So you did something very right-wing, which is taking self-accountability.
I know.
And that's very counterculture, isn't it? How dare you not be a victim and be self-accountable? How dare you not be a victim?
Yeah. And that's exactly right. I had to get to that point where no longer was I going to just let the external, what's going on in my life now control my health. I'm putting food in my mouth. I'm not getting the exercise. I'm not doing the work to change my mindset about my relationship with food. And also but it wasn't just, the relationship with the food was a little less. It was more my relationship with myself.
Yeah.
And once I started to do that process, I did a combination of things. I did a combination of medication, a combination of coaching. I had a health coach. I did mindset work. But ultimately it came down to then going, now you got to take action. And I literally, my food is, I now eat intuitively. I don't eat 3 meals a day. If my body needs 3 meals a day, I have 3 meals, but I eat intuitively. I know how much protein I need to eat in a day. And I know that if I've had a bigger breakfast, bigger lunch, I'm not eating dinner, all of those things. So I think it's important to really listen to your body and do the work, because it is hard work, but it's not, 20 years of conditioning is not going to happen overnight.
And I'm sure the question that's on all our minds is, when are we going to see the gym videos on LinkedIn? When are we going to see you doing chin-ups and weights? Next
all
week
right,
sometime?
just for you, and I'll make some.
Oh yeah, and I want it on LinkedIn, and I'll share it everywhere. LinkedIn, Facebook, Insta. Annette Bacon doing weights at the gym in a Lorna Jane outfit or Lululemon, whatever you're into.
Oh, yes, I might be into it soon.
Good up for Annette Bacon. Annette Bacon, great one. Now, we're just going to bring in one of our fantastic friends on stage. I got to see her yesterday. Her name's Sabina Smolowski. You would have seen her before. She's the woman in white these days. Every time I see her, she's in white or something like that. She's really cool. And I caught up with her yesterday. Can we get up Sabina Savosky? Welcome, Sabina. How are you tonight? Oh, today. What's going on, Sabina?
I'm sort of in white again. Yeah.
You are. You're the lady in white now. You're always in white, which I think is pretty cool.
I think it's just because it's summer. And I'll be back in other colours.
Oh,
nice to see you all, girls and Ed. What?
Oh, good to see you. Good to see you. And just a quick we got a great friend watching as well. Can you all give a wave to Paola Beaumonti? We caught up yesterday. She's watching today. Great friend of ours. We love you, Paola. Make sure you connect with Paola as well. She's a cool lady. Now, we're just going around the room in terms of talking about leadership and confidence. And next, we're going to bounce over we'll do Lara, Christina, and bounce back to Sabina, then go to open mic. So our idea that we're starting off with today is confidence and leadership loop. The whole, the more you win is the more of a leader you become, the more of a leader you become, the more confident you become. So basically, the more you win is the more you win, the more you lose is the more you lose. Lara Arden, great to see you, my friend. Love to hear your reactions on this one. Great to see you. Tell us all about it, because you've certainly gone from losing to winning a lot lately, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure to be here. And yeah, just following on from Annette, what you were saying about conditioning and how, like it's 20, 30, sometimes it can be 40 years, 50 years of conditioning. And you're right, it's no small feat to break through a lot of barriers that could have been created in that time, right? So self-awareness, for me, that's always the key. Whenever we want to look at, winning in anything or stop losing in something even, I think it starts with self-awareness. And it's something that I've really sought to master, I think, probably at this stage in life. So this year I've been stepping into what is it to access more of the right side of the brain. So I learned recently that, we all know that most of us have two hemispheres of the brain. There are some people out there who have no hemispheres of the brain, and yet they're still here and fully functioning and doing very well.
I would just say some people have no brains, Lara,
Well, I guess that's true, literally.
There you go.
Is that too?
Well, they haven't. They've just turned them off. They have their brains. They just have to switch in the off position.
That's it. They're offline. Offline. Yeah. So I've been learning more about, so we know that we've got two, well, for most of us, we've got two brain hemispheres. We've got the left and the right. And so I've been learning about how, and here's the thing, right? It's in language. You hear people say, I don't have the bandwidth for that. What does that mean? What it means is because then we've got the right and we've got the left brain hemispheres, and we've got something in the middle called the corpus callosum. That anatomically, that's like the bridge that connects the two. It's like our fiber optic cable, right? And so what happens is when we've got too much data happening in, the left side of the brain, which is where all the logic is, it needs a release. It needs to go somewhere else. It could go to the right side, the right hemisphere of the brain, which is where all of our imagination, our manifestation, our creativity lives. But, if we don't have the bandwidth, it's because the information can't get through there. So this year specifically, as I learn and as I continue to work in my own self-development, I've been learning more about how can I access the right side of my brain, that right hemisphere, which is where imagination and creativity live. And also that's where our intuition sits, right? So the more we can access that, the more that we can open ourselves up to many more things that we're, capable and possible for in this time that we have. So yeah,
and just on that, and I'm saying this absolutely positively, in the time I've known you, you've gone from real zero to hero, right? I remember original Lara, and now I know modern day Lara, right? And,
thank you.
And I think original Lara would be very satisfied if she met modern day Lara. She'd be very, very satisfied. How have you done it? How have you gone through, if you don't mind me saying, how did you go from a meek, mild and average character to the leader that you certainly are today? How'd you do it?
Well, a lot of it's had to do with you, Ed, because I think this is the other thing that...
if I can stop right there, thank you, but no, it didn't. I might have helped, but no, it didn't. What did you do internally? We may have supported you, but what did you do internally to get there? But thank you, though.
Thank you. Okay, well, I wanted to put that shout out in because you deserve it, and it's true. All right, and I'm all about recognition, so thank you. And so, okay, so it's been probably three things. One is having the right mentors. So actually being open to mentoring, or coaching, because how can we grow if we're not willing to recognize that we don't know everything? We might need a gardener, a mentor, a nursery leader to help us grow up and be better than we have been being, and to fulfill our potential, right? We can achieve self-actualization, but we don't achieve it on our own. As much as
was it listening to new ideas which helped steer you this way? Was it the new ideas and new influence that helped you?
It's more new influence, okay, because there's lots of ideas out there, but it's about who you choose to listen to, and that's when the influence happens, right? So, yeah, I think for me, it's been, the theme word I carried last year with me through all of the activities that I wanted to do was consolidate. And that word, for me, helped me realize, what, there's lots of voices out there. There's lots of information. But who am I going to choose to listen to? Right? Who am I going to tune into? The greatest influence that's, going to help me grow and develop, in the greater ways that, that I see that I have the potential to. So that was making very conscious choices last year about who I was tuning into, to be who I was going to be influenced by. And you were definitely one of those key people for me all the way through last year. Yeah, thank you.
And you look so different now. So for those, I've known Lara for a long time. For those, Lara used to be sort of a more paler, meeker sort of character. And now she's really tall. She's got dark makeup, so she looks like you're looking you look like a chick out of a Quentin Tarantino film. You've got that vibe.
Oh, really? Oh,
you're
cool. I love
Quentin
that.
Tarantino. Love it. Love it. Big thank you to Lara Arden. Give a round of applause. Lara Arden, we love you, my friend. We love you. And we're going to hear from Christina Davey shortly, but just as well, we've got one of our other great lady panelists on the line. We've got Helen Boson. Helen Boson is a great friend of ours, and she's a nutritionist and fitness trainer and business leader from Melbourne. And it was Lara and Sabina and Lassie. They were the influences for me going back to the gym. So Helen, Sabina, and Lassie are the ones that sort of dragged my fat ass back to the gym. And I was at Anytime Fitness this morning. Someone thought I was a PT. Oh, my God, I loved it. Let's give a quick hello to Helen Boson. How you doing, Helen Boson? What's going on?
I'm good. Sorry for running late. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's well.
Now, what we're going to do, Helen, we'll come back to you. We're going to hear from Christina, Sabina, then Helen Boson. And I was just going to say, everyone, if you can all keep your microphones on mute just to keep down background noise, just unmute when you go to speak, just to keep it all going. So next we're going to hear from, unfortunately, I said this before she arrived yesterday. We ran our meetup. I called Christina Davey the crazy Romanian. Everyone laughed their heads off and agreed. So I'm sorry, Christina. You're now the crazy Romanian. And everyone agreed with that statement. How are you doing, Christina? Do you think you are a crazy Romanian? Because I certainly do.
I'm wondering what have I done to deserve the medal, the label. But look, if it's crazy good, I'll take it. If it's crazy bad,
crazy awesome. Everyone loves you. When I said it when you weren't there yesterday, the whole room was laughing their heads off and they agreed. So there you go. So
controversy always helps.
And Christina, tell us what you think. Please tell us about the confidence leadership loop. What are your thoughts on that one, Christina Davey?
Look, I think confidence is about self-trust, and I really believe that familiarity has a lot of impact on our level of confidence, because the more we are exposed to something, the more familiar we become, the more certain we become, and then we trust ourselves. So sometimes when we try something new, there is a hesitation, right? We are not sure, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? So we might decide we are not a confident person, same way how we, some people decide they're shy, right? And because they're shy, they take on board that identity or the identity of not feeling confident, and then they act based on that. But I think really when we understand that, so I will address them separately and then together. So when we understand that confidence comes the more we do one thing, and the the familiarity that comes with it, and to understand that the more familiar we are with something, we start to notice, right? We can do anything, like think about a job, think about dating, think about parenting. Like, it's crazy to have the first child. When you have the second child, is like a walk in the park for some, not for everyone, but right? Because you already done it once, so you got some exposure to it, right? In terms of a job, or like, look, building this community in terms of bringing people together. Like, I didn't know anything about it really, and I keep coming at your events and I learn from you and I ask questions. I agree with what Lara was saying, learning from someone, it's important. Learning from your your environment, it's important. So I learn from you, I ask from an expert, somebody who has done it for a long time, and then I allow myself the learning curve. And I had those moments when I was like why, how, and then I'll come to you, or I will ask someone else, or I will read up about it. And I agree what Alison says about kicking butt. Sometimes I had to kick my butt and push myself in a masculine way, as Annette was saying, but I also had to be kind, because I am aware that there's a learning curve. And if we don't allow for a learning curve, because we're not born with leadership skills, we're not born with confidence, right? That's fixed mindset. Growth mindset said, I'm learning everything that's important to me, right? So if I allow myself the learning curve, and now I have a successful, community in Meetup, and I applied that kind of thinking in everything else, including leadership. Leadership for me, I didn't even know. I grew up in communism. Yeah. I was always told being a leader, it was a bad thing. You just had to follow. So I brought that with me in adulthood, in my parenting, and it was a problem. I started noticing, all right, people around me are not happy, right? Because I was more authoritarian, right? Then I moved to authoritative, or what is it? I think I'm getting the words right. And then I was like, hold on a second.
You stop being a commie. You embrace capitalism.
Yeah.
No more communism. So,
yeah, and I want to be vulnerable, and I think it's important to admit to where we were and the progress, because some people that are not quite there, they beat themselves up. But look, I grew into leadership skills. I'm still growing into the leadership skills. And it's important to have opportunities to practice those skills so we can learn.
Yeah, and I think just one thing to add to everything I've heard, you can kick yourself in the butt and be nice to yourself at the same time. It's not what you can do both. You don't have to pick one, Yeah. I don't think people understand that. You can do both at the same time.
Yes. I think the kick in the butt is more about deciding, sitting with it and deciding, is this important to me? Yes, it is. All right. So how important is in my hierarchy of values? Well, this important, then let's just do something about it. Leadership doesn't start with confidence. Leadership starts with responsibility. Being able to actually, take something on board and be okay with learning and leaders, they're not always sure about the outcome.
Totally.
I don't know about you, but I'm not always sure when I'm leading. I'm just having the courage
all the time.
And then confidence comes, right? Confidence comes after you start taking action, being unsure. So I believe in dating, for example, because this is my area. Like, if we don't have, confidence to initiate a conversation, to set the boundary, to walk away, if we don't have the courage, right, then all we're going to do is we're just going to start to be more miserable. Yeah. So we got to take responsibility. I think Annette was saying, touching on that a little bit, I can't remember exactly, but we got to take responsibility on how we feel. If we don't like it, just look, the universe delivers, right? Like, the moment you want something, a teacher appears or an opportunity appears. So is it important? Is it important to have confidence? Is it important to be a leader? then search it up and just take responsibility for becoming that and allow that learning curve.
Oh my God. Well said. There we go. Love your work, Christina. Good up, Christina. Just incredible. And I love how you start talking. As you know, a bit of trivia, I'm writing to Fallout, which is very big on Amazon Prime right now. And they're talking about communism a lot in it. So it's just too funny to have you talk about that. So there you go. But I gotta say, love your winning round. Applause to Christina David. Next, we're going to hear from one of the ladies who she figuratively knocked me unconscious and dragged me back to the gym in collaboration with Helen Mozon and Lassie. Sabina, how are you today, Sabina? And thank you for stopping me from becoming a fatso. I appreciate that, Sabina. What's going on?
I wish I could take the credit, Edward, but I think you're a man on a mission. Confidence is something actually Christina and I were talking about last night, and she's one of my, I'd say she's a bit of a mentor. She's one of my very close friends as well, but and we're just talking around it. I think action precedes confidence. Action, showing up, just doing the work, the courage, and that's where you get the confidence. I believed wrongly, 20, 30 years ago, I wasn't a very confident person at all. And I just believed you were born with it, right? You either have it or you don't. And I definitely didn't have it. And I just sort of assumed that that's what it was. But it's not. It's about growing it, and it's about looking for it and taking that action. So, and I also want to echo Lara's words, Edward, because, standing up in front of people and talking about myself and my business is quite personal. And you pushed me. And I remember when I first met you, Christine introduced me to you, and, it was that showing up and repetition, doing it again, and the action. So I think when we're not confident, everything seems very scary, but we have to be scared in order to get the confidence. That's the price that we pay. And it's not always the most comfortable price, but nothing's for free. So I think just action, get uncomfortable. And that's when the confidence starts to come.
And if I can, and I remember you spoke about this in a previous live stream, if you don't mind me bringing it up. I remember you telling us the story in one of our live streams some time ago where you were in the UK and you're in a relationship and at life and it wasn't working out. And you basically made the quest across the world to Australia. I remember that original story.
Can't believe I told that story.
I remember you telling us that live stream. How did you, if you don't mind me going back to that era, how did you sort of, I suppose, leave your ivory castle and become the big explorer and come to the land down under and all that?
Well, actually, so the person that I was with at the time, he actually gave me a lot of confidence to travel. So I think a lot of it I can attribute to him. And so I remember him just saying to me, and this was when I was like 18, when we first started together, and he was like, oh, just go here. I said, oh, I've always wanted to go here. He's like, oh, just go over there and get a job and live over there. And I'm like, what, just like that? He's like, yeah, just like that. And then this was a repetition. And so basically he made me, it probably wasn't the best workout. He's married now and very happy. But I think it was just that I borrowed his confidence, to be honest. And that's why I say to clients now, borrow my confidence or borrow my belief in you until you get your own. And it's the same. So with this gentleman who's lovely, he just said, just go do it. And just do this, done. And I was like, oh, really? I do this. I still find myself doing this, making things so complicated. We all do it. And I was like, oh gosh, it really is that fucking simple. So I did, and I did it again. And so from that, I went and lived in Ibiza. I had no money. I went and lived in Dublin again, no money, no job. I went and lived in Miami again, no job, no money.
You live in Miami. You're in Florida.
Yeah.
I could so see you doing that. Totally.
And lived in Spain, and then I moved here.
I can see you owning like a really big nightclub in Miami or something.
I I wish
I
it
can
was
see
that
you doing
clever.
that.
It wasn't.
Put up your hand if you could see Sabina owning a big nightclub in Miami, Scarface style. Yeah,
I
totally.
think. Well, I did actually
Babylon
go for
Club at a Scarface. You could own that.
Well,
Babylon.
it was what was the job I went for? It was called a door bitch. That's what I went for once.
Oh, so I wasn't far off. I wasn't
No,
far off in that statement. Yeah, I picked it.
Collins Drive in Miami, yeah. But yeah, so I think that definitely brought my confidence on. But yeah, I mean lots of but my parents as well. I had lots of, and I think, you know, us that are parents, we have a lot to do with it too, because my mum and dad were just like, oh, just do it. And that just gave me that courage. I was like, well, if they believe in me, then there must be something inside of me. So I was like, oh, okay, let's go. And so, yeah. So I don't know if but that's how I've never had the best relationship with confidence. I assumed it came normal. And I remember speaking to a very quite a famous actress and asking her about confidence. She's like, oh, I was born with it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But she wasn't. She'd actually built it up. But because it was ingrained in her family, her family were confident. It was just part of who she was. Of course she was, you know, that's what she recognized as just her normal. So confidence and leadership, I think, yeah, if you can, if you have a leader, if you have somebody that's got what you've got, what you want, and you can maybe borrow their confidence in you, or if someone sees the confidence in you, then just take it as gospel. And even if you can't do that, then just believe in yourself, back yourself and do it, and just get yourself out there, and you will be incredibly amazed by how quickly confidence comes in any arena, be it in the gym or a new sport or, you know, whatever it is. So that's my
round of applause. Sabina, love your work, Sabina. Did I pick the nightclub thing in Miami? I picked it, didn't I? I didn't know that. Yeah, I tell you. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hear from amazing Helen Boson, then go to open mic for all our legendary panelists. If you're here, like, share, comment, say hello, let us know what you think. And we're going to, and now Helen Boson's an amazing lady. If for those that have known, I've known Helen Boson for years, amazing lady. Helen Boson is one of the characters that dragged my fat ass to the gym. And if you ever hug Helen Boson, I always say, Helen Boson, if you hug Helen, it feels like a steel girder wrapped in a piece of fabric. So you have like this soft layer, and then you just feel steel. So get a steel girder, wrap a curtain around it, and hug it. That's what it feels like, Helen Boson. She is ripped and hard. How are you doing today, Helen Boson? Are you still ripped and hard?
Getting there. I am. Yes, compared to last time we saw each other, yes. A little sick, you know, I go down that path. So yes, no, it's great. It's really good. Haven't been around for a while. Look forward to catching up in person next week, Ed. Awesome. Confidence in leadership. I believe it's the I can do attitude. I went to a conference earlier this year, and there was this individual that was presenting, and opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, he just said yes and worked it out. That came from a level of hardship in the back end. Sabina said it, being okay with feeling uncomfortable helps you move forward. I have nightmares about studying again. I don't want to study. I will only do something to get a certificate if I need it to move forward. Otherwise, I will pay for people's expertise who've done what I want to achieve.
Yeah.
You get there fast.
Just type it into Elon Musk's Grok and just say it's your answer. I do that all the time.
Say that again.
I'll just use Grok AI and just put it in there. Then you'll have the answer. Easy.
Yes, but then when you're in conversation with people,
oh shit! Yeah, you got
oh, shit.
Bathroom break.
This is where AI catches us out.
Bathroom break.
Yeah. But my attitude is keep it really simple. Have an I can attitude. If you know where you're moving forward and you know where you want to get to, that will make you feel more confident, and if it will spill out to being a better, confident leader, if that's what someone wants to do, though, as well. So there's no pressure to achieve that in life. But hang around with 4 or 5 people who are smarter than you.
Totally. Now, I want to go a bit back in time. What made you start the change, Helen? So what made you, because now it's easy because I'm Helen Boson and I got a six pack and I'm ripped, which you are, right? That's all fine. But going a bit back in time, what made you change? What made you go in this direction to become like sort of the legendary Helen Boson?
Thank you, Ed. You're very kind. Two core things. I got sick of being pushed around as a consultant in the medical world, and I just finally stood my ground and said, enough, during the COVID times. And I let go of the financial consequence of it and just trusted the universe will work it out. And it did. I took a year off, 18 months off, and I regrouped. So there is a crescendo that will happen and you go, I'm not flying under the radar anymore. So for me, that was it. And it was interestingly, I went to a meeting with a consultant that I worked with, and I wasn't rude. I was just answering questions directly back firmly, and they didn't like it. And I positioned myself to make them feel like they were getting rid of me, but I was getting rid of them, but they felt good about it because I had enough. So you get to a point where you have enough. And I call it the focaccia moment. That's when I cut all, that's, the bleep moment, focaccia moment. That's when I cut all my hair off, went really short, spiky.
You did, didn't you? I remember you had to have long hair. Then one day, I think I said, someone pissed you off, did they? And you were like, Quentin Tarantino style. There you go.
Yeah, someone came up to me and said, have you had a focaccia moment? And I said, I absolutely have. That's why the hair's gone and it will stay short. So yes, so there's a dividing line in everyone's life where you go, I've had enough. I want more, if that's what someone wants. One of my challenges was that I was scared of making phone calls. I felt uncomfortable. It was my limitation. I didn't want to impose on people who were busy. So I engaged in an awesome coach who coached me through that. Do you know who that was, Ed?
Wonder who.
You.
Thank you.
Zag. He was.
I remember.
Just make a call, Helen. Just make a call. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what I mean by pay for people's expert knowledge and accountability to get you there faster. And then to finish off, use the words I am, I have in your statements.
Yes.
That's my recommendation because that will make us all stronger confidence leaders.
Oh my God, well said. Helen Boson, love your work, Helen Boson, just incredible. Now, what we're going to do, we're just going to have a quick intermission and go to open mic mode. So if you are watching me, thank you. Like, share, comment, say hello. What we're going to do is we're going to move to open mic mode. And this is where, because all our panelists are high-end civilized people, and this is where they just jump in and say whatever they want. And this is the way that we do it. So to all our panelists, keep your microphones on mute unless you're talking. So you unmute, speak, then just keep down background noise. Background sounded a bit racist. Background noise, so keep down background noise. And and what we're going to do is we're just going to react and expand on what we've heard. So we're now in hot mic mode. Someone take the first shot. Go. Boss ladies, go.
Okay. Thank you, ladies, for everything that you were sharing. I absolutely loved it. And what I wanted to add to the conversation is something that someone recently said to me, and it really resonated. And I feel like it's going to, I think it's also about that confidence and self-confidence. And it is that often, especially for some of us that are coaches, we'll spend a lot of time talking about being values aligned and our belief systems, because it's all part of who we are and being confident in ourselves. But what I didn't, and we talk about energies and we've talked, feminine and masculine energy. Someone was sharing with me in my networks recently. Actually, she was sharing she was a guest speaker on my show recently. Anyway, we were talking about the energy of authenticity. And what she shared was that actually now the research is showing that authenticity energy is the highest resonance, right, of energy. And when you bring yourself into alignment with that authentic energy, what starts to happen is everything else then starts to fall in place. So then all of your values and your beliefs and all of that other energy, positivity, everything starts to flow beautifully under the banner of authenticity. Now, I found that quite profound because sometimes when things can become a bit of a buzzword, right? So we can sometimes think, it's a bit of a buzzword. People talk about their authentic self, but the science says there is science behind it that says it actually needs to be in this conversation.
Can I react to that for a second? If I can jump in there.
Yeah,
A lot of people, when they say, I want to talk about my authentic self, they still aren't. They're talking about a fake authentic self. I see that all the time. I'm going to be authentic with you now. And I'm like, oh, sure you are. So they're not, it's an authentic, a lot of people use authenticity as a form of grift, which is unfortunate. So yeah, I could agree more in it.
No, I agree. So that was just something. And I feel like that confidence, because our self-confidence is everything. It's the platform, it's our foundation. So if we're bringing ourselves into that space of being authentic, then, that's another space where our confidence, our self-confidence comes, because then we're going, okay, this is, and I also don't think it's kind of like, oh my gosh, this is who I am. The thing is, we change all the time as well. We're evolving. So it's not like a destination. Again, it's one of those things that you are journeying and working out all the time. But the more you become aligned with who you are as your authentic self in this moment in time, and everything else seems to flow. So I just wanted to throw that out there and see what everybody thought.
Oh, Annette Bacon, brilliant. Annette Bacon. Ladies, first one in wins. Any thoughts?
Yeah. Annette, I resemble those remarks. And the reason why is because authenticity for me, when it comes to, for example, applying for awards, okay, it can, the business awards industry can be very ego-based, but it doesn't have to be. It can also be very, what I like to call it, values-aligned and integrity-led. And when you are, doing things through, a true expression of yourself, then I think that is the best way that we can do anything, whether we're putting ourselves forward or somebody else, or even if it's something that, we want to resolve, if there's, something that we recognize could be better than it is, that in itself would just be an honest conversation, an open exploration of, okay, how can we authentically and literally make this better than it currently is, and then having the focus be on the thing rather than the people. For me, that would be being authentic and open, and having a great enlightening conversation would be to target on, okay, what is this thing that we want to improve for everybody? Because to me, that's the real authentic opportunity that we have, when we're looking at things that can be improved. So yeah, I just really wanted to add to what you're saying there. I think it's a great angle that you've introduced. So yeah, and Ed, look, thank you for highlighting it, and also making us think about the other side of it, because there can be some challenges around that for some people. They can look at authenticity as a very fake thing. Look at AI and how people are utilizing that for their voice and for their face. Is that a good or a bad thing? It's interesting.
Oh,
how do you look at it?
Deep thinking. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
If I can add in, I think it's really easy to be authentic and stand out in today's world of AI. Just be yourself. So I've actually personally, with the AI, Lara, awesome comment. I've actually made the decision not to use AI in socials.
Yep.
I'm not going to use it. I see some people using it, and I can see some graphics. I'm going, that is not you. That is not you talking. I know it's AI. I know that's an AI image of you walking with other professionals. So I think it's so easy to stand out as a strong leader just by being who we are. And use AI to speed the process, but not to provide a filter of who we are.
Completely agree. And I think what's going to happen, sorry, I'm jumping in, Helen, but because I think what will happen is that it's like the imperfections are going to be the actual thing that people want in the end. Right. And I think that's what is if you can, yes, still use AI, because that's the way the world goes. But like you said, it's how you use it, it's behavior. It's like a phone. A phone's great if the behavior is right around a phone. The same with food, alcohol, anything. It's about the behavior behind it. And so I think, yes, still use it, but be really mindful of your behavior and if it's affecting your habits, because that affects your confidence, right? If I see a picture of myself and it looked amazing, and I'm like, well, that one does a much better job than me, then where would my confidence be, right? We talk about, and how am I showing up? I'm. If I want to tell people to be confident about yourself, but then I'm putting out a AI perfect vision of myself, I'm not really very congruent with what I'm saying. So, yeah, no, sorry, I'll let you speak. I was so excited about that.
Oh, powerful. And Ali, what's on your mind? Alison Gibbs, Ali Gibbs.
Yeah, I love all of these conversations that are happening. They're just so awesome. I can resonate with every single one, but a couple of things have really stood out for me. Number one is exactly what Sabina just said, and Helen. I put videos out every now and then of me giving a tip or something like that. I'm not dressed in a suit. I'm just myself in my office, in the same chair that I'm sitting in now, and I'm just doing what I do because it's actually fun. I had somebody comment to me a month or so ago that I needed to change the way I looked. My clothes didn't suit.
Isn't that loser
what
we
I was
spoke about?
Yes,
yeah, that loser. Yeah, that loser.
Yeah.
Sorry, Karen.
He said
did I say loser? Yeah, I meant loser. Yes.
Yeah. And it was like, oh, but you don't look as though you know what you're talking about. You don't dress well. You don't do this. And I didn't actually say this to this person, but I thought, do you have a mirror? Because
he was a fat old white guy, wasn't he? Wasn't he some fat old white guy? Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, do you have a mirror? Because you're telling me that I don't look the part, but you're in a monogrammed T-shirt that is 3 or 4 sizes too small.
Oh God.
And I didn't say that, but that's what I thought. So that person's advice I immediately struck off. Yeah. So when you say listen and take advice from the people that you want to take advice, you can hear all the advice. It doesn't mean you need to take it. But also, people will actually align with people that are real. And if you're real, you're going to have some vulnerability there. You're not going to be this perfect news presenter when you're doing a video on your iPhone that's on a selfie stick, because you don't have a camera crew behind you. I have a business model that's pitched at a certain area. If I wore an Armani suit and had, a studio behind me, people couldn't afford to pay me because somebody would have to pay for what I am doing there. I'm pitching my business at a particular level. I also, talking about confidence, I had a number of years ago, when I say a number of years ago, it was 20 years ago, as a very young person, I made the decision that I was going to go and live in Saudi Arabia on my own. I had never been overseas. I'd never been on a plane. I'd never been on a holiday without my family.
Yeah.
And that was the destination.
I'm an Arab, so I can say it. Saudi Arabia isn't known for its women's empowerment. So that's an interesting choice. Impressive choice.
It's better now. It was really, really different when I was there. I knew it was going to be, and I'm, excuse the phrase, but I'm a pretty ballsy person. I don't really shy away. I'm not scared of a challenge.
You would have pushed those effeminate Arab guys around. That would have been funny to watch.
No, that didn't work. I tried that. But it was, kid you not, the best experience of my life, because I was very shy before I went there. I'd never made a decision on my own. I was buying a watch where I dragged a friend of mine into this store probably 8 times on our way to dinner. And she just said to me, for God's sake, do you like the watch? Buy the watch. If you don't. I'm hungry.
Yep.
Why are you asking me a question?
Angry.
And I was like, I don't know why I'm asking you the question, but that was a wake-up call for me. And that experience in life and having to live on my own without my family, there was no Zoom or FaceTime or anything like that over there. There was emails that didn't always get through and phone calls were monitored. So you didn't have open communication. And I had to start to live my life for my life, not what other people wanted me to do. And I came home and nobody actually recognized me because I didn't ask anyone's opinion anymore.
Yeah.
And
you're busy telling everyone what to do. There you go.
Probably. But it's all of those sorts of things where Christina says you learn from experience, you learn from doing. You actually do. You get so much confidence I did, when I threw myself in the deep end in a really unfamiliar environment. And it was like, yes, I can go home, but what am I going to learn if I do that? I want to learn. And so for me, it was, no, I'm going to stick it out. It's really hard. I stayed there nearly 3 years.
Wow.
And
3 years in the Middle East.
I'd set myself up for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That I
so
would
did you
not
come
have
back
been
in
able
like the suit, the Ray-Ban sunglasses, the
I
swish
played
bag?
a joke. I played a joke on my family. I played a joke on my family with my first trip.
Did you come back dressed up as a sheikh or something, did you? Sheikh Mohammed?
No, I came back and I was in the abaya with the hair cover. And I saw my mum. I walked over to her and she just looked at me and didn't recognize me. And I told her I converted. Well, she burst into tears.
Oh, that's
I told her it was a joke and she hit me.
That's epic. Epic. Oh, I love it. That's the sort of crap that I would do. That's awesome, Ali. That's awesome.
But so you do get confidence by putting yourselves in all of these unfamiliar situations, but also listening to your true self. And just remember, everybody's definition of success is different. So yours won't be the same as what other people think you should be. So follow your own journey.
Oh my God. Well, so you're now Ali of Arabia. You get the Ali of Arabia title. So there we go. Ali, take no prisoners. Who would like to go next?
I'm going to be a little bit of a rebel here and not in sync with everyone because I'm the crazy Romanian, right? So in terms of authenticity and AI, I really think that we got to observe the duality of people, duality of tools, right? So I don't think authenticity is always good. Sometimes people will say, oh, this is just me. I'm being authentic, but not watching the impact that they're having. That's not a good necessarily authenticity. I wouldn't think, right? When we display unprocessed emotion, we just dysregulate it. We are being authentic, but it's not necessarily a good thing. So I don't think authenticity, though, look, there are certain contexts, okay, when authenticity is great, but I think we have to still be mindful, right? Oversharing, it's you being authentic, but oversharing can actually damage a relationship. So same with AI. Look, Zoom, it's not fantastic. It's better in person, but it's a great tool. Online dating, has the duality, has, the opportunity to meet people, but it can be draining if you don't know how to run it. And I think AI is a form of expressivity, right? It can really help us get some clarity in what we want to say, how to build something. So I don't think it's all bad. I think we just we got to start seeing the duality of it. And what is the context? What is the intention that I'm using AI or authenticity, right? Or my confidence. I can be very confident and lead people to a disaster. I'm not going to name names, but I have a few names in mind, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we all, I don't want to turn this into a political thing. So we got to really be mindful on how we use authenticity, how we use AI, and if it's what's the intention of using all of this. Is it to bring us closer, or is it to bypass something? Isn't to not deal with something, right? So unfortunately I can't stay longer because I have a conversation, but I think this is a fantastic it's a fantastic topic, and I'm very grateful that every single one of you has shared her wisdom and experience, life experience here, work experience as well, because it prompted me to think of some stuff. It's not just about the audience. I think we are developing ourselves as we're here, and I'm very grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for being here and sharing this space.
Love it.
Oh my God, we love you, Christina.
Christina, before you go, can I just jump in and say, look, thank you so much. I think you've really heightened the conversation now and taken it to another level of discernment. All right. And I think this is really important when we're talking about leadership and confidence. And let's just classify 3 types of authenticity. There could either be benevolent, which is being good, kind, and considerate of everybody. All right. There's the malignant, which is where you're doing something that you think is good and kind, but it has negative outcomes. Right. And then there's the malevolent, which is you're not doing things that are good or kind and they're not great for everyone. Right? That's really a bad intention. So I just want to say thank you. Well, thank you for bringing it up. Right. That's the next level of discernment that we all want to be mindful of when we're practicing good, healthy leadership and confidence. Are we using it in the right ways for the right purpose? Thank you.
You're spot on as usual, Lara. I love your insights, and that's why I love being connected with you and, Sabina and Alison and Annette and Helen, thank you so much. And Edward, you're next level. I appreciate you. Thank you. Gotta run, but I appreciate the time here. Thank you.
Oh, love it. We love you. Christina Davey, round of applause. Christina Davey goes off to make some money. Good for you, Christina. Love it. There we go. Love it, love it, love it. And I just want to say a big thank you. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to finish up our live stream in the next few minutes. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do monologues from all of our powerful boss ladies today. So we're going to have say up to a minute closing monologue, sort of Fox News style, telling us what they think, how to live our lives in style. And we're going to go around the room. And again, today's topic has been leadership and confidence. It's funny, at the start of this, I actually brought up 5 different talking points: confidence and leadership, imposter syndrome, authentic vulnerability, decision-making, and empowering others. And it all came up organically. So I didn't have to prompt it. People just spoke about organically. So we're going to have closing monologues up to 60 seconds. We're going to hear from amazing boss ladies. And also, too, if you haven't already, make sure you connect with our boss ladies. They're all over LinkedIn, and quite a few are on Facebook as well. If you are watching, like, share, comment, make sure you connect with us on LinkedIn. So let's hear closing monologues. Let's start off with Ali of Arabia. What is on your mind, Ali Gibbs? I love it. I can see you. Hit that unmute key, Ali. Just hit that unmute key so we can hear you. And please go for it.
Yeah, I've had a wonderful time today listening to everybody. I think from my point of view, my closing remarks on this would be yourself. Authentic, but in the good way. Don't try and damage others with your authenticity. Emotionally intelligent as well. So realize what room you're in and act accordingly. But also live your own journey. If you know that something is right for you, keep having a shot at it, but beware that you will need to pivot probably, because nothing ever stays stagnant. If it is stagnant, it's probably not the room you want to be in. And final one, if you think you're the smartest person in the room, go to another room. Yeah. Because we all need to learn something. Even the people that are right at the top still need to learn something. So just keep learning.
Oh, well said. Deep thinking. Ali Gibbs. Love it, Ali Gibbs. And we got Annette Bacon with us, and I mispronounced Annette Bacon's name. Her name's Annette Bacon. I mispronounced it. I'm sorry about that. Annette Bacon.
I love how you do that, Ed. Seriously, it's so funny. Cracks me up. Anyway, and Alison, yeah, and thanks for the conversation, ladies. This has been amazing. And Alison, I agree. I think with what you just said in terms of wrapping up, when it is that next level of having that conversation about what authenticity is and those aspects. Thank you, Lara, about the three aspects of authenticity. And because you're not out there to harm others, right? And so it can't be an excuse for your behavior or your patterns and conditioning. You need to own, you need to own that space yourself. And I also love what you said, Alison, about emotional intelligence, because that's my jam. And I think it is when I'm thinking about leadership and confidence as well, it is that it's mindset, but it's also emotions. It is stepping into that space where you are building your emotional intelligence skills. I think that's really critical. You need emotional intelligence in every part of your life, personally, in the community, and in your career. So I guess my wrap up and takeaway as well from today is modeling. Like a lot of women have shared here, if I didn't have the confidence, then I borrowed that confidence, or I looked at somebody else who is doing what I want in my life, whether that's through being or doing, and then modeling that until, take that, what's working for them, and do that until you can do that yourself unconsciously, and then do it even better and or differently. So I think the concept of modeling is a very powerful one too. And we sort of touched on that as everyone was sharing. So that was a big takeaway for me.
Oh, Annette Bacon, well said. Annette Bacon, love your work. Many levels. And the steel girder wrapped in a layer of fabric. Helen Boson, ripped Helen Boson. What do you think?
I'm a little bit direct and harsh.
I actually don't think you are, but carry on. Seriously, I don't think you are, but carry on.
It's interesting. Okay, I'll say it a little bit diplomatically, not too crudely, which is there are so many people out there who are just pigs.
Oh, yeah, pigs. And you know what we do with pigs? We turn them into bacon. Not Annette Bacon, as in bad.
No,
bacon.
Of course not. And it's just all about me. And I've learned from Ed,
they're pigs.
Just filter through that rubbish ASAP.
Squeal
Move to who you want to be. And I heard what Christina said and everyone said, when I talk about authentic, just be who you are. So when you use AI in a negative way and it polishes up who you are, when someone meets you, the trust will be lost. So just be you.
Oh, just incredible.
And learn from others. Just, surround yourself with others who've been there, have the conversations, and give without expecting anything back. And the universe will give you what you need to be the person you want to be. Just filter through the rubbish ASAP.
And just reacting to your pig comment, which I think is hilarious. From memory, it was when Ali and I had that chat before. So long, Ali made reference before. This fat old white guy was giving Ali a hard time. And I remember when Ali spoke me up, I was on the Gold Coast staying at the Mercure because I was sitting in the beautiful lobby. I was talking to Ali. It's about 10 o'clock at night or something, 9 o'clock, something like that. And I think did I call him a fat old pig? I think I did. Did I use the pig word, Ali? I did, yeah. I thought I said pig. He sounds like some fat old pig. I didn't say that, right? There we go. So there we go. So there you go. I think pig's the best reference ever, Helen Boson. That's pretty cool.
It's a start. We can get firmer, but it's a start. We're online.
Oh yeah. I think we should run around calling annoying people pigs for the next week or two. That'll be fun.
Okay, done.
Love it. Love it. Helen Boson. If you mess up Helen, you become a pig. So don't mess up Helen, or she'll call you a pig. And I'll share that post. Love it. Sabina, what's going on, Sabina? What's on your mind? Hit that unmute key, Sabina. Hit that unmute key, Sabina. What's on your mind?
What's on my mind? I've loved this conversation. Great. I think confidence is a leadership skill for everybody. And I think just taking action. And it's not something that, you have to work for it. And I think we're all testament to this, is you have to keep putting one foot forward, even when sometimes you have to go backwards, keep going forwards, keep showing up, and then build confidence, and that word build the confidence. So actually make it a bit of a mission, make it something that you have to do. Like you go to the gym to build your muscles, you go to you get out there to build your confidence. So see it with that kind of frame.
Oh, brilliant, Sabina, brilliant. And I gotta say, I loved your reference before as well to was it borrowed confidence? I thought that was a really clever insight, the borrowed confidence insight.
Yeah, I think you have to borrow confidence in people. And I see it with clients all the time. They come into the office and they don't have the confidence, or they don't have but if somebody sees it in you, then just steal that and use that as your sort of superpower, and until you get your own. So yeah.
Oh, Sabina, well said, Sabina. Love it. And last but not least, Lara, what's on your mind? Quentin Tarantino, Lara, what's on your mind? So there you go. You're going to hit that unmute key, Lara. Hit that unmute key. You're going to dye your hair black next week or something like that?
We could do something crazy. Well, I just realized I forgot to ask if we could do a screenshot with Christina here. So can we grab one all together now? Well, I just love to remember these moments.
I have done one if you want, and I can pop that in the chat as well. When no one was looking.
Digitally.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that would be great. Cheers. Okay. Right. Thank you for that. Well, yeah, I'd just love to do a quick summary of everything that I got out of today, because it's just been so valuable for me. So, Ed, thank you for hosting these get-togethers when we do them. I think it's every month, isn't it? We do our Boss Lady Summit.
Yes.
And yeah, it's been the second one that I've been able to do with you for this year. So thank you for doing this so diligently. Ali, thank you for today. I really appreciate being reminded of the value of stepping into what's uncomfortable. And it's okay if it's messy in the beginning. It's because we don't know what we're doing. But just put yourself out there and give it a crack, have it go anyway. Mm-hmm. And thank you as well for reminding us about our conditioning and being mindful that that might come up. It could get in the way. And like Helen said, just filter it out. Just get rid of it or pass through it, if it's going to come up anyway. Sabina, thank you for reminding us that sometimes confidence starts externally until it grows internally. And that external confidence can come from being influenced by being around the right people. Ed, hallelujah, and Lassie, you guys, you put us in rooms where we're surrounded by, beautiful, magical, amazing people. So thank you for providing that for us as well. And the amazing, crazy Christina, who I love so much. Christina, you're the one as well who just gave us that clarity, that crystal clarity for today, to remember that authenticity is about, being really mindful that we're doing it purposefully for, the betterment and the greater good of everybody in the world, and, what we're here for. So shout out to all of you beautiful people. And thank you, Ed, for having us here today.
Lara Arden, love it. I don't know about that, but I think, Lara, you should run for the Australian Senate as a One Nation rep to clean up our country. I think you sound great. There we go. Definitely. We need more Queenslanders in office. There we go. That's all I can say. More Queenslanders in office. Oh, but Sabina doesn't like that. No, Sabina's not happy. There we go. Definitely.
Lara.
But put up your hand if you think Lara belongs in the Australian Senate and she'll clean up the place. Yeah, totally. You definitely belong in the Australian Senate. The debate on is which party. So there you go. Love it. But
I love my party.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Then you sell your votes. You sell your votes to the person who gives you the most amount of money. Ooh. Buckets of Gina Reinhart money. That'd be awesome. So that's what I said. Now she's a boss lady and a half. There you go. So friends, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining our boss ladies. We run this every month, so stay tuned for the next one. Connect with amazing Christina, who's had to jump off for a client, and connect with Lassie as well, who's the arbiter of the boss ladies. I just want to say a big thank you. And I remember as a dude who was into women's empowerment before it was even popular, all I say to legendary ladies like yourself is, don't take shit from us guys. Don't do that. Do your own thing. Nothing wrong with sticking up the finger and just sticking it to them. So there you go. And if you're not feeling good, if someone annoys you, just call them a pig and just say Helen Boson said I could call you a pig. right? You're just a pig. Helen Boson said so. And if you've got a problem, take it up with her. It's Helen Boson. She's done MMA and stuff. She'll kick her ass. So it's all good. So friends, thank you so much. Please like, share, comment. Thank you again. Unmute, boss ladies. Stay awesome and have the best weekend ever. Thank you, everyone.
Happy
Later.
Saturday.
Bye.
Yes.